Hi there, this is Leslie with Bloomer Portraiture, and I'm going to show you how to blend the background. As you can see, this image is straight out of camera, and the flocati and the seamless are pretty well blended together, so there's not a whole lot to do with it, but I do like to blend it just a little tiny bit more. So the first thing that I do is Command J. That will give me a duplicate layer, and then I go over to my brush tool and I click on the white layer and I choose the color of the backdrop very near to the baby. And that's going to give me the nice light color on this side. Click OK, and then I'm going to make my brush bigger using the right bracket. And I'm also going to go over here and make the hardness of my brush 0. I want as soft of a brush as I can get. And I do apologize, my computer is a little bit laggy. But what I'm going to do is just with this large brush, just very carefully just color around the baby. And when my computer catches up with itself, you'll see what that looks like. Go over here and put a little more on this side. And then I usually like to drop the opacity on, because this one was fairly well blended, I'm going to drop the opacity down if my computer ever catches up with itself. Oh, and of course, all right, I'm going to Command Z that last thing. And I'm going to take the opacity on it down just probably to about 75, right around 75. That way I've got a nice blur. You can't really see where the fur and the backdrop meet. And then I'm going to put a layer mask on that, and I'm going to go up here and take the hardness of my brush between 40 and 50. And I'm going to switch it to a black brush, and I'm going to use my left bracket and make my brush size smaller. And then I'm just going to go around and I'm going to paint. I'm going to brush off the color from the baby. Definitely don't want any on her skin or her clothes or the prop that she's sitting in. Do be careful on your shaded side. You don't want to be able to see a lot of the backdrop behind her. I'm just going to go around and very carefully brush off. And for this, you might want to zoom in a little. And over here you can see I took a little bit off of the rug, so I'm going to switch my brush back over to a white brush and just kind of brush it back on just right in through here. And sometimes it's just kind of a back and forth, just taking off just where you don't need it. And for this part here, since I'm having trouble blending it right where the fur is, I'm going to, just going to go over it with a soft brush so that I can just kind of blend it in a little. And that's it. I think I missed a little bit on her head there. And that's it. And then I would just adjust it up or down depending on your taste. Like I said, I usually leave mine around 75%, but you can do them as light or as dark as you wish. And then I would just flatten the layers down and